What's going on, BTG Nation? It's me, Hot Dog. If it's your first time tuning in, I appreciate y'all being on. I stole that from Q Walker. It's a good line he has. I've always admired it, so I thought I'd use it on my show. This is week 2 NFL predictions. I'm going to wait a couple minutes, let some people get on here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully some people roll in when I start talking. So last week I came on here and gave my first week NFL predictions for game by game. I went 7-9. It's not terrible. It's not great. You know, you'd love to have a 16-0 record. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have a few misses. And when we go through my week 2 predictions, I'll let y'all know how I did compared to week 1. So first game we got, the Thursday night game. It's Cincinnati at Cleveland. Both teams took a loss. One was more heartbreaking than the other. Cleveland took a blowout loss, which is what I predicted against Baltimore. They have Cincinnati coming in, who took a heartbreaking last-second loss. A very questionable offensive pass interference call against them, A.J. Green, which would have won the game in the final seconds. Randy Bullock came out and apparently messed up his groin on the kick, missed the kick. It was a chip shot, 30-yard field goal. Cincinnati loses its home opener. It was a heartbreaking loss. I love Cincinnati, but I had predicted them to win. And obviously they lost to the L.A. Chargers. But this week, I got Cincinnati coming in and beating Cleveland. Cleveland went out and got 2 new offensive linemen. Jedrick Wills, drafted 10th overall out of Alabama, and also went out and signed Jack Conklin and signed Austin Hooper. Try to make Baker Mayfield more comfortable, and it just did nothing. It absolutely did nothing. Cleveland looked absolutely awful. I have no high expectations for Cleveland. I think they maybe win 4 or 5 games. I just don't believe in Baker Mayfield, so I'm not surprised. I think Cleveland takes another loss, starts off 0-2. Cincinnati gets back on track with Joe Burrow. I was very impressed with Joe Burrow. I know he threw an interception, kind of got a little antsy in the pocket, but on that last drive, he really showed me something. No timeouts, quick down the field. I was very impressed with Joe Burrow week 1. I believe he will go into Cleveland tonight and beat the Cleveland Browns. Let's go on to the second game. We got Atlanta at Dallas. Both these teams took a loss last week. I predicted they had both running backs rushing for over 5 yards per carry, but let Mayfield pass 40 times. That's what I'm saying, man. Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb had good games, but I think they just got back. I just think they got too far behind, and of course, when you get too far behind, you got to pass the ball. So I think that's why that led to that. But Browns tonight, if they run, Browns win tonight if they run 30-plus times. I mean, when you got Nick Chubb and you got Kareem Hunt, there's no reason you shouldn't run the ball 30 more times a game and take the pressure off Baker, but they love Baker Mayfield. I don't know why. I don't like him at all. That's just me. But last week, Dallas took a heartbreaking loss. That's my team. I picked them to win, obviously, against the L.A. Rams in their first game in their new stadium. Mello, I know you're a big Rams fan. The Cowboys lost. They shouldn't have. No reason for it. Very questionable offensive pass interference in the game. Great acting by Jalen Ramsey, in my opinion. I think Michael Gallup ran a great route and beat him. But, it is what it is. We lost. We should never be in that position. Dak Prescott is still garbage, as he will continue to be until the Cowboys let him go at the end of the season. Atlanta, lost at home last week. Home opener against the Seattle Seahawks. I predicted Seattle to beat them, and that came true. I got Cowboys winning this game. I think they get back on track and beat the Falcons. I just think if Dak Prescott's going to have a dominating performance this year, it's going to be this week against Atlanta. Their secondary is very suspect, so I look for the Dallas Cowboys to get back on track and win this game. I say a close game. I'm going to say 30-24. That's just my prediction for this week. Next game, we got the New York Football Giants against the Chicago Bears. Now, Chicago was down big against Detroit last week. I picked Chicago to lose against Detroit, but Mitch Trubisky threw 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They were down, I believe, 20-3 going into the fourth. They came back and won. Very tough loss for the Lions. I can't pronounce the guy's name. Swift, the rookie running back out of Georgia, had a touchdown. He caught it, and he turned around to go to the end zone and dropped it. Just really disappointing first week for the Lions, especially Swift, who had a touchdown. But Mitch Trubisky showed me something. 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. That's never easy. Big comeback for Chicago. Confidence builder. They have their home opener this week against the New York Giants, who took a loss at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know a lot of expectations for Daniel Jones going into the second year. Saquon Barkley's healthy again. Jason Garrett, new offensive coordinator. I don't see much of a change for the Giants. Putting up 10 points. Daniel Jones, 2 turnovers in the red zone. One of them in the red zone. The other one was not. Daniel Jones is a turnover machine. I have no expectations for the Giants. I know I went on record last Tuesday saying they had all this talent, and they show they have talent. Darius Slayton had a great long touchdown. They have the talent. Evan Ingram. Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton. They have the talent. They just got to put it together. I don't think they get it together this week. I think Chicago wins at home. How about them Packers? Donnie, I'm not talking about the Packers right now. I'm not talking about y'all. Actually, you know what? Actually, y'all are next. I am about to talk about the Packers. Next game, I got Detroit at Green Bay. Last week, I had both these teams lose. No, actually, I had Detroit beating Chicago, and they lost. Green Bay, I had them losing against Minnesota. Detroit, look, I don't think there was a team more impressive last week than the Green Bay Packers. Put up 46 points against a formidable defense in the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers looked like the old Aaron Rodgers. They didn't rely on that running game as much as they did last year. They did have over 150 rushing yards for a team. Aaron Rodgers had over 364 passing yards. I think he had 3 or 4 touchdowns. This looked like the old Aaron Rodgers. If they get this Aaron Rodgers this year, the Packers are going to be a force. I think the Packers were the most impressive team last week. So look for them to win this week against Detroit. This is my blowout prediction of the week. Out of all the games, this is my blowout prediction. I say the Packers win by 3 or more touchdowns. My blowout prediction of the week, Green Bay blows out the Detroit Lions. Next game, we got Jacksonville at Tennessee. Both these teams won last week, close games. Gardner Minshew had 1 incomplete pass last week. That's very impressive, especially for a quarterback that's considered very average. So I was very pleased with Gardner Minshew. I like Gardner Minshew. He's got some solid weapons. They brought in Tyler Eifert. They did let Leonard Fournette go. They got DJ Chark, Keenan Cole, D.D. Westbrook. He's got some solid receivers. If they just get that defense to go back to the way they was a couple years ago, they could be a solid team. Tennessee won a close game on the road at Mile High. I had Tennessee losing. I had Denver winning. It was close. I think the score was 16-14. Steven Gostkowski missed 3 field goals before hitting the game winner. I got Tennessee winning at home. I think by a touchdown. I think Derrick Henry, who had a huge game week 1, I believe that Derrick Henry will have another huge week against Jacksonville. Tennessee wins this game. Next game, we got Minnesota at Indy. Now, I had both these teams winning last week, and they both lost. So let's see who gets who avenges themselves. Minnesota looked bad. The defense looked bad. Phillip Rivers looked all right the first week. I think he had 2 touchdowns, interception, threw for 300-some yards. Himes had a breakout game. Jonathan Taylor, first game for the Colts, had a pretty good game himself. They did lose Marlon Mack for the season, torn Achilles. That's going to hurt. But they do have Jack Doyle back. I don't believe he played hardly at all last year. Of course, Jacoby Brissett was a starting quarterback last year. He's back to the bench. So I believe that Indy wins this game at home. I think Phillip Rivers and the boys get this team back on track. Frank Reich has the offense rolling. I believe that the Colts win this game and go 1-1. Next game, we got Buffalo at Miami. Of course, I had Miami losing last week, and that came true. I had Buffalo winning, and that came true. I got Buff winning on the road. I just think that Josh Allen looked great last week. Not only with his legs, but through the air. He had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Josh Allen looked really good. So look for Josh Allen and Buffalo to continue the stride and win on the road against Miami. Next game, we got San Francisco at the Jets. Now, San Francisco's in trouble because all their receivers got hurt last week. Their secondary is hurt. Richard Sherman's on the IR. The Jets didn't look good either last week. They lost like I predicted. San Francisco actually lost as well. I did not predict that. I was kind of surprised. At home they were. But I still think San Francisco goes on the road and beats the Jets. I just think that San Francisco has enough talent left this week to go on the road to beat the Jets. Next game, we got the Rams at Philly. Now, last week, Philadelphia is probably part of the biggest upset of Week 1, losing against the Washington football team, no longer the Redskins. They don't have a name. We know Philadelphia, no healthy offensive linemen. They lost last week. I think they get Lane Johnson and Trent. I can't remember the other guy's name. But anyway, they get those guys back, so that's going to be a big boost. The Rams, of course, beat Dallas controversial fashion. It happens, and it did happen. But the Rams, I believe, go on the road to beat Philly. That Jared Goff offense, the rolling out, the play-action rollout, that was their old – it just looked like them a couple years ago. Marlon Brown, I think they found something Marlon Brown. He had a solid game, a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. So look for the Rams to go on the road and beat Philly, put Philly at 0-2 and the Rams 2-0. Next game, we got Denver at Pittsburgh. This is going to be a hard-hitting game because Denver still got a solid defense. And, of course, Denver went out and got all those offensive weapons. Jared Jeudy, KJ Hamler. Of course, Noah Fant is a second-year man. So, look for of course, Pittsburgh looked great Monday night. I think Big Ben looked great. Him and Juju got that connection back that they had 2 years ago. Deontay Johnson looks great. He looks much better now. He's got a real quarterback playing under center. Of course, Benny Snell had over 100 yards last week in his first big time. Most time I've seen him playing the game. Of course, James Conner got hurt, so I think James Conner's out of a job. That's just me. I think he's out of a job, and I think it's Benny Snell's job. And look for Pittsburgh to go 2-0 and put Denver at 0-2. I think Pittsburgh wins at home at Heinz Field. Next game, we got Carolina at Tampa Bay. Of course, all the talk was about Tom Brady and the Bucs. What were they going to do? Could they go to New Orleans and show them they were going to be the best team in the division? Absolutely not. Drew Brees is the GOAT. I don't care what y'all say. Tom Brady ain't nothing. Q Walker, I hope you watch it. You know why? Because I told y'all, the Bucs are not the best team in the division. Tom Brady's not the best quarterback in the division. He's not even the best quarterback in Florida. That's Gardner Minshew. Yeah, I said it. Say what? But anyway, I digress. Tampa Bay goes 1-1. They easily beat Carolina. Carolina, that was another upset loss in my opinion. I did not expect them to lose at home to the Las Vegas Raiders. I was very shocked at that, but it happened. Las Vegas 1-0. We'll get to them in a second. Next game, we got the Washington football team on the road against Arizona. Arizona kind of surprised me going on the road. I know they got weapons. They went out, got D-Hop. Kyler Murray, his second year. Kenyon Drake, his first full season in Arizona. Look for Arizona to win this game big. This could be another blowout. I know Washington won last week, but Philadelphia had no offensive line. They had 8 sacks on Philadelphia. This Arizona offensive line is not like Philadelphia's. So look for Washington to bring the heat, but still I think Arizona wins big. That's just me. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the LA Chargers. Kansas City won opening night against Houston by 2 touchdowns like I predicted. Kansas City is still the favorite to win it all. They are still the kings. They are still the champs. Look for them to go on the road to beat the Chargers. They won a close game against the Bengals. Very controversial. I think the Chargers suck. I think Tyrod Taylor sucks. I look for them to maybe win 3 or 4 games this year. Dave Reese, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You're going to have to explain a little further. Next, we got Baltimore-Houston. I think this will be a good game. I know Baltimore won big against Cleveland. Cleveland sucks, so I'm not really surprised at that. At Houston, Houston lost by 2 touchdowns against Kansas City. There's no shame in that. No, man. That is a Boston Celtics shirt. Boston is playing tonight. They're going to avenge that hard loss they got the other night. So, no, this is not an Eagles shirt. You know better than that. But, Natasha Gransberry, you are in time because I was just talking about how your Houston Texans are going to lose against Baltimore. I had to think about this. I had to think hard about it. It's at home against Houston. I think Houston showed me a lot that opening night game without D-Hop. He spread the ball around. I think David Johnson looked great. I think he looked like the guy from a few years ago. Hopefully, if he stays healthy, he will be a 1,000-yard rusher again. I I just think David Johnson looked like the guy he was a couple years ago. I think he looks solid. So I think Houston will put up a fight, but I still think Baltimore goes on the road and beats Houston. Next, we got New England at Seattle, Sunday night game. Cam Newton looked great last week. This offense looked just unbelievable. Baltimore's run game and Lamar's quickness. I just don't know if Houston showed me enough on their defense to be able to slow this Baltimore team down. I just don't think so. I mean, like I said, they showed me a lot of good things. I know that Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a huge game, his rookie debut. But I mean, Houston's got a lot of moving pieces, a lot of in and out. They lost a lot from last year. They brought a lot in. They brought in Randall Cobb. Like I said, I mean, they got different receivers. I wish they would go and get. I can't remember the quarterback's name right now, but Deshaun Watson. I wish they would go get him a tight end. Darren Fells is just not it. But I think of course Baltimore is going to run the ball constantly, and I don't see any different here. But anyway, New England at Seattle. I think Cam Newton looked absolutely great. I think this offense, Josh McDaniels did a great job in the short amount of time to get this offense ready. I know it was against Baltimore. I'm sorry, it was against Miami. It is what it is, but I still think New England looked great. I still think they go on the road and lose to Seattle. Yeah, Seattle's going to win this game. It is what it is. Seattle wins at home by a touchdown. So Monday night, this is my game of the week. This is the game I absolutely cannot wait to watch. It's New Orleans at the Las Vegas Raiders. Their home opener in their brand new, beautiful stadium. Excuse me. Las Vegas won on the road against Carolina week 1. Josh Jacobs, 3 touchdowns. Huge game from Josh Jacobs. He has showed that he can carry this team on his back. But New Orleans is down a man. Losing Michael Thomas for a few weeks is going to hurt. I don't know what they do at that second receiver position. I've been told Benny Fowler will start at the number 2. Look for a lot of Alvin Kamara, Jared Cook, and Emmanuel Sanders. If you got those 3 in fantasy, you're in great shape. But I'm going with the Raiders. I think the Raiders go 2-0. I didn't get to watch the Raiders, but seeing the highlights and seeing the stats, that was really impressive to me. That they went on the road and beat Carolina in their first week. Teddy Bridgewater's first game, which Teddy Bridgewater had a good game. Robbie Anderson had a great game. It was a shootout from beginning to end. I just think the Vegas Raiders take week 2 and they win their home opener against the New Orleans Saints. That's just me. Let me know what you think about my picks. A couple more stories. College football. Big Ten announced that October 24th that Big Ten football will start up. This is big. I'm very happy about it. I'm glad we get to see Michigan and Ohio State play. I think Ohio State arguably could have been the best college football team this year and could have competed for a national title like they did last year, but we won't get to know that now. We'll have to wait till next year. Also, SEC football starts up, I believe, next week. So for all you UK fans, y'all got that to look forward to. But the big game Saturday night is Louisville against Miami, the Hurricanes. You know I'm a Louisville guy. I think Louisville will beat Miami and avenge that horrible loss we had last year. And I think that tonight, I think the game's going on right now. Boston Celtics gets the Heat game 2. You know, Jason Tatum had that block on him in the end against Bam Adebayo. Sent him home losing, and not really home in the bubble. But I think the Celtics win game 2 and even it up. I got the Celtics in 7, in case y'all are wondering. That's just me. Celtics in 7. Nuggets in 7 in the Western Conference Finals. They beat the Lakers in 7 like they had the last 2 series. Clippers and the Jazz. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in. A few guys commented, Andrew, go Cards. Always go Cards. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'll be back next Thursday for my Week 3 predictions and go over what I got wrong and what I got right from this week. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. Please like and share this video. I'd really appreciate it. Love to get the views up for Beyond the Game. Until next time, I'm Hot Dog. I'm out.